Back at it like a crack addict. Let's get right into it. Straight into it. Come on now. No need for delay. Am I the asshole if I tell my guests, family, that I need to be reimbursed for buying, preparing, and cooking Christmas dinner? Using a throwaway just in case my cousins were to come across this. I'm 21 and have a really close family. We always did Christmas at my grandma's house, but she passed away last January, so there was a lot of discussion as to who would do the dinner. My opinion was that it would be best to have one of the younger people do it. That way we can have a long-standing tradition that lasts years. There was some arguing back and forth between me and my aunt, but finally she said fine. I was thinking of my 29-year-old cousin would step up since she has a really nice house and kitchen, but she said she would be going to Germany this year. Finally, after a month of no one volunteering, my mom said I'd really pissed my aunt off and I needed to do Christmas this year since I was so adamant about a young person doing it. I was not going to be proved wrong, so I said I would. So a couple things. I'm a good cook, so I'm not worried about that part, but it's way more expensive than I thought it would be, especially with inflation. I also realized that my apartment is way too small, so I rented a really nice Airbnb for the day. And I had to buy all new dishes, cookware, servingware, table spread, etc. It's gonna cost me about $4,500 that is going on my credit card. Golly! We're having between 20 and 25 people, and I don't think it's unreasonable to ask them to pay between $250 and $300 each, so I'm not financially ruined by this. I'm a first-year teacher, and I can't afford that. When I told my mom about the idea, she says, don't you dare even consider it. Her argument was that it was my idea, and I even argued with my aunt. All my grandma's stuff packed up and is in great shape. I didn't need to get a whole new spread from Pottery Barn, and why didn't I just ask someone else to host, and I could cook? Now my grandma never once asked for anything in return, so this could splinter the family. She said, admit you bit off more than you could chew, take everything back, cancel the Airbnb, and ask for help with hosting and cooking. I said no, I could do it, but I needed the money. She said I was embarrassing the hell out of her, and she may not come. Your own mom threatening to not come to your Christmas is making me feel like an asshole. Am I the asshole? Okay, see, this one, my thing is like, you have the option to not do this shit. Like, why are you finna drop $5,000 damn near just to prove your aunt wrong? Like, it seems like you're being kind of, petty. It seems like you really want to, you want to be, big man, big person on the block. You want to prove that you can do this, but you have to ask for money. Look, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Times is tough. I get it. I'm fucking broke. Like, I'm broke. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I'm broke. Times is tough. So admit, like she said, admit you bit off more than you could chew. Take everything back and ask for help. It's that simple. Like, okay, what are they gonna hit you with a snarky remark? I would have known this was happening. Oh well. Take it on the chin, like an adult. Live life. Ask for help. Cause yo ass cannot afford this. You said it yourself. Financial ruin? You use the word ruin. If there's a risk of ruin over Christmas dinner, bro, 20 to 25 people is ridiculous. You got the biggest family I ever. That's crazy. I could not imagine 20 of. I don't even think I can name 20 of my family members. So this is just tomfoolery. This is just crazy. I think you need to grow up and admit that you can't do this by yourself. You can't handle $4,500 worth of. I'm not gonna lie. You might be the asshole here. You seem like you're just trying to prove everyone wrong. You prove that you can do all this. You can't even afford it. Take your L. Take your L. Get your auntie. I know your aunt. She probably cook better than you. I'm gonna be real. All right, she probably whip it up. Grandma probably taught her personally how to whip all this up so that she could carry on the tradition. What you finna make? I mean, maybe the person who wrote this is nice with it. Maybe they're nice in the kitchen. Maybe I'm hating. But I'm like, that family cooking that gets passed down through generations, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. I'm sorry to say it to you. I'm sorry to be the one that tells you this. I'm real sorry. I know it's hard, but take it on the chin. You're acting a fool. You're acting like an asshole. All right, stop. Swallow your pride. Okay, and admit you need help. It's okay to need help. $4,500 is a lot of money. You know what I would do right now if I got a $4,500 charge on anything? Crumble. Fold. Declare bankrupt. You're definitely the asshole. You need to grow up and ask for help. Okay? Sometimes we all need to do that. But you right now especially. So call them up. Am I the asshole for not switching seats with some lady on the plane to sit with my girlfriend? Me, male 21, and my girlfriend, female 21, just got done with finals, so we decided to take a trip to Ohio. That's your problem right there. You're an asshole. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're an asshole. You going to Ohio? What's there? You got family in Cleveland? Because if not, what the fuck are you going to Ohio for? We live on the West Coast, so it's like a 4-hour flight. We got done with our trip and we're coming back home by plane. We woke up, she was immediately angry because I accidentally pushed her off the bed, LOL. Now I feel that though. I be taking up a lot of space in the bed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big dude, but I be moving in my sleep. You know? Then she started finding things to complain about. I suggested we get the free breakfast with our hotel instead of going to some coffee shop, and when we went, she kept complaining about how the coffee is weak and she needs another one. So I complied and we went to a coffee shop. We get to the airport and she's complaining more. I tell her I'm tired and let me rest. Don't talk to me until we get home, and she gets all mad and complains. We have different seats on the plane because the flight is packed and overbooked. I tell her it's fine, it's just 4 hours. Then comes to my seat and tells me the woman sitting next to her is willing to trade seats with me. I literally said, give me a break, and told her no. She went back crying just because I wanted a damn break. When we got home, she started crying even more and said I embarrassed her on the flight. Am I the asshole? Look, hold on, let me take a sip of water before I rip into your ass. Are you in love with your girlfriend, bro? You took her to Ohio. You're being a dickhead, saying she's trying to find things to complain about, like all this shit. You didn't want to sit by her, sent her back crying, and not like now you're retreating to Reddit because you're probably hoping to get some, some reassurance that, oh, women. Okay, look, bro, look at me in the fucking eyes, all right? See, now you done angered me. You can still sleep next to her, bro. Like, you could sit next to her to help her feel better, because in a relationship, I feel like your partner is meant to be, that's your safe house. That's where you, when the whole world is burning, you can retreat to your partner and find peace in that. Maybe that's what she's trying. She don't want to sit next to this random ass lady. Okay, maybe she smells, maybe she reeks of vodka, maybe she looks like she's into witchcraft, and she doesn't want to sit next to her. So why can't you just swallow? Pause. I was about to say swallow your pride. That was a bad place to stop. Why can't you just sit next to her? You can sit next to her and be like, look, baby, look, I'm tired. All right, it's been an exhausting trip. We went to fucking Ohio. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. I'm tired now. Okay, we left the West Coast to go to Ohio. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, really. Y'all could have worked something out once you were sitting next to her. It's a 4-hour flight. Even you said it's just 4 hours, so it's good that we're sitting, it's fine. You couldn't suck it up for 4 hours, bro. Now look at you. You sent her back crying on the plane. You made a whole scene. I know you're embarrassed too. Good. I'm glad. Matter of fact, that just made my day that your dumb ass is embarrassed, because you deserve it. I don't see, like, how in a relationship you just not want to sit next to you. You'd rather sit next to strangers on an airplane. That's like hell. Sitting next to randoms on an airplane. I don't know if any of you all have sat next to a random on an airplane. I know you know what I'm talking about. That shit sucks. So you'd rather have that than sit next to your girlfriend. Are you sure you love her? Are you sure that y'all are really the match? You know what I'm saying? Because you're acting like a dick. And if you'd really rather be by this random stranger than your own girlfriend, then I think there's a problem lying there. But that's not even my point. You're the asshole, bro. You're the asshole. You couldn't suck it up for 4 hours and sit next to her just to help her feel a little better. I'm not saying you always have to cater to your partner. Like, sometimes, yes, you probably need a break. But, bro, you made the choice to go on vacation with her. Don't tell her you need a break now. Vacation with your partner, that's like you're leaving together. You're going to spend pretty much every second of that vacation together. That was the whole point of the fucking vacation. Don't tell her you need a break now. You get home, then you can take a break. You need to wait 4 more hours, bro, because now you just being an asshole. You causing a scene on the airplane. You being a dickhead. You now you done send her back to the seat crying. Now she's finna vent to that lady. Now that lady's having a bad flight because she's trying to catch some Z's, and now your girlfriend's venting to her about your goofy ass. You see what I'm saying? You just unleashed you're wreaking havoc. You're wreaking havoc on the public. It's all your fault. You're the asshole. Tell me what y'all think, though. You know what I'm saying? Any of these, if you think I'm out of pocket, tell me in the comments. Okay? Respectfully. Don't come at me sideways. We can have a respectful conversation, so tell me what you think. But I personally think you're the asshole, buddy. All right? Pack it up. You can go back to Ohio. Leave Shorty for someone, more deserving. Not gonna say no names. Am I the asshole for not taking my baby mama's son on a trip to Disneyland? 8 years ago, I got a chick I was sleeping with pregnant a few months prior to us graduating college. We had a son, and due to circumstances I don't want to get in the weeds on, my baby mother has custody of him. I still see him very often, a few times a week, and I pay child support. I don't particularly have a good relationship with my son's mother. She resents me for what happened, and honestly, I'd rather have that hostility towards me than towards our son, so that's fine by me. After having my kid, she ended up having another man's baby, so she currently has my 8-year-old son, and I think a 6, give or take a year-old girl. I don't really pay the girl any mind, as she's not my kid. Admittedly, I'm pretty sure her father is not really that involved. Recently, it was my current long-term girlfriend's birthday, and she said that she wanted to take a day trip to Disney for it. I thought it would be a great opportunity to take my son as he's never been, and it's Disney and kids love that shit. I told his mother and she seemed displeased. She asked about her daughter and if I would take her. My thought was, of course not. Like, why would I do that? I told her I hadn't planned on it. She said it wouldn't be right for me to take him and not take her, as she would get jealous that he got to go to Disneyland and she didn't. I told her that she's not my daughter and I don't really have an obligation to her. I also mentioned that Disney was not cheap and I wouldn't be spending my money on her kid for it. She didn't offer to pay for half her kid's trip. I, of course, rejected this too, as if I'm not the kid's daddy, I'm not gonna pay. After all, she has a dad and he should be taking care of her. Also, that wouldn't solve the issue of me having to babysit while on a trip with my son and girlfriend. So I said no to this. She told me then that she wouldn't be letting her son go simply because it's not fair. So here's where I may be the asshole. I kind of played my son against her. I told him that I wanted to take him to Disney, but his mom said no. This of course led to him being very upset and caused his mom to relent. We went to Disney, had a great time, and she was incredibly bitter when I brought him back. Am I the asshole? This is okay, it's kind of funny because maybe a little bit. Like, once again, this is a case of I feel like you're being petty. I don't think it's right to pit a kid against an adult like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a little manipulative. But at the same time, she's bugging. That is not your daughter, not at all. Like, that shit has nothing to do with you. That's not family at all. Like, if you don't have a relationship with that kid, the daughter I'm talking about, then you definitely don't have an obligation to take her to Disneyland. That shit costs a lot of money. Like, that shit is expensive. So I think she was bugging. I understand that it's like, okay, if the son goes and the daughter doesn't, the daughter's gonna be really jealous, but that is not my problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, you know, that's on you. You want to take her to Disneyland? Take her to Disneyland. Matter of fact, you could take her to Disneyland with your son, and you can see how much that shit costs, because you expecting me to take her, and then she gonna say, I'll pay half. That ain't gonna work. Nah, that ain't gonna work. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. So you might be you're a little bit of an asshole for like playing a kid against his own mother. Like, that's some cheap shit. But I don't think it's like a morally like deep-rooted bad thing to do. I don't think it damages your character. It's just kind of petty. But she can't expect you to take a kid that is not yours to Disneyland, especially when it's your girlfriend. Like, your girlfriend's birthday has nothing to do with them. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, nah. I'd say you're kind of an asshole, but not really. If that makes sense, that's my best answer. No, I'm just gonna say no. You're not the asshole. You're a little petty though. So maybe, you know, do some self-reflection and work on that part. But I'm gonna let you slide on this one.